And good evening, everybody. It's Sunday night. It's Zoom Racing League, and now it's time for Division 1, the Grande Prêmio de Portugal 2021. It's the Portugal Grand Prix, Round 9 of Division 1 for the Zoom Racing League. The fastest drivers in our league racing the fastest cars on one of the fastest tracks. We saw an amazing D2 race to see if D1 can deliver just as well. Take a look at the track circuit. It's 2.891 miles around, 15 turns at Portimao, 2 DRS zones, including that long front straightaway, which heads into the tight turn 1, a high-speed corner that tends to filter everybody down. If you go side by side into there, we can see some crazy things happen. I'm joined in the commentary booth this week by Mr. Rivas. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, and I am ready for this race. This is going to be a real exciting roller coaster ride.
Yeah, Portimao is up and down, left and right. Always tons of it's a real driver's track. I think it's one of these tracks that these guys really enjoy to drive, and it's a lot of fun to drive. Let's go and hop into qualifying here and see what we got going on as the drivers are pulling their way onto the circuit. We got 18 minutes of qualifying here to set the grid for tonight's race. First car on track looks like it might be Ricardo T. And for some reason, I can't hear my game. Stand by 1 second.
All right, while he's taking a look at that, we'll just give you guys a kind of an update on the track. Turns 3 and 4 are really tricky to get right, and even a little bit of a spin right there, and you can cost yourself a time penalty. And we can see some collisions there if the drivers aren't careful and keep the tires in the right window and are careful working with one another. Turn 8's another one as you take that right-hander to another right-hander and you start to go uphill. You get on the power too early. See a lot of drivers lose it there and lose it into the grass, and if you get pointed the wrong way, really easy to get yourself disqualified with the way this game is written. So turn 3 and 4, turn 7 and 8, big time opportunities to mess up, but a lot of opportunity there to make up time on somebody ahead of you if they have a moment. So Ricardo's going to come around through the DRS zone through the final turn. He's going to come down the main straight, going to cross the start finish line and start his flying lap.
Yep, we got the sound worked out and just had to go into the settings and get back out of the settings, and it fixed it. So Ricardo's on his way around. Probably one of the fastest drivers we have in this league. He is right now about 54 points out of the division win, so not completely out of it mathematically, but it's going to be a long shot, and I think a lot of that just comes to the fact he got a late start this season and missed a couple drives, I think, so far. But if I had to pick one man to win this race, it's going to be Ricardo, and he is on his medium tires too to set. So that's one of the things we saw in the D2 race, Rivas, is this could be a one-stop race if you can work those tires and stretch them out. Sid won it in the D2 race, started on the medium tires, went all the way to lap 23 before he made his pit stop, put on the soft tires and won the race. Razor did the inverse, and he started on the softs and went to mediums. He finished 1 second behind. So if you got the confidence and you got the bravery to push those tires out, then you can do really well with them. So
yeah, it's a huge gamble to take them that far. I know for my guys in the Mercedes garage around lap 17, they were starting to scream. And a 1:16.8 for Ricardo for the first lap on a set of mediums is a really flying time. That's going to be those guys are going to really have to push to catch up to that.
I mean, I want to say that would have been pole in the D2 race on the soft tires. I mean, that's how fast of a lap that is. Let's take a look at Peter Giordano here in the Aston Martin. Oh, I got to pull telemetry up. I forgot we have it this race. I can look at that. So, while I pull that up, Peter's going to come around and finish his flying lap.
Peter's actually invalidated his lap, so we're going to need to...
He did.
He's going to have to go around, cool off, and try it one more time. Next across the line looks like to be the Ferrari of Gator. No, it'll be the other Ferrari of the Jack Fletcher, who goes 1:17.6. Not a bad lap there.
Jack's also on the medium tires, too. Yeah, that's a good lap.
And only 4/10 off Jack Pemberton ahead. And that's about the gap between the two, if you're going to kind of experience a gap on a one-lap pace between the medium to soft, and then another 7/10 potentially to go to the hard tire. So like Zebra's invalidated his lap. So we got a lot of invalidations. These drivers have driven this track before. We've raced here before, but sometimes just those little up, down, blind going uphill and got to take a quick right, just get a little loose, expecting the car to be somewhere that it can't get necessarily.
Here comes Travis Robinson in the Alpha Tauri. on his first flying lap. He's going to go P6 with a 17.5.
Sort of an unexpected result there. He's 3/10 off Duncan. Usually you see those two flip-flop, but I know the Honda-powered cars, they've been working together more and more, a lot of team training. They also did a team training this past week with the Ferrari guys, which is an interesting strategy to see. That Mercedes hate runs deep as we ride on board with Mercedes-powered Peter Giordano, who now goes on pole with a 1:16.808. Really good lap from Peter.
Great lap from Peter. Takes him to pole. Of course, he's running the soft tires. Less than a tenth faster than Ricardo, who was on the mediums. I just saw Ian a minute ago. He was missing his front wings. He must have had an incident on his outlap. So he's got to go in and reset and do it again. Let's pick up with Duncan McCamick here in the Red Bull. As he works his way out of the final corner down this long, sweeping right-hand turn of turn number 14 there. Or 15, excuse me. Comes across the hill. He's going to go P5 on the soft tire. The 17
just starting another flying lap here. His ERS was pretty high, so I think he was ending cool down laps. Now he's on a hot lap because that ERS is draining pretty quick. I'm going to stay on here with him. As he goes up, you got to be real careful right here in turn 4 to get a good exit, get uphill. You stay really well left because you can float out right very easily and get out in that dirt right there, and that will absolutely murder your lap. Little tire in the grass. He's going to ride the curb. You get to the left, keep it real tight through the hairpin, and back up the hill to the turn 7 and 8 complex.
He went faster in sector 1 than he did the previous lap, so I think you're right, Revis. I think this is going to be his flyer here. Nice and clean through turn 8 right there. That's probably the most difficult corner on the track. We're going to see a few incidents there tonight, I'm sure. Heads down to turn number 11. Then you go down the hill, back up the hill to the left. So he's 2/10 up. That 2/10 will put him up to P4 right now as Victor Diaz drops a lap in at 17.0 in current P4.
Victor had a good podium finish last week in Abu Dhabi, so he'll be looking to repeat that again. P4 is a good spot. Good spot to start. Looks like everyone around him's on the soft so far, so he'll be on the same strategy as those around him.
Duncan McCamick goes P2 with a 16.8. Helps that you make the track guide for the week, right? You kind of know your way around here.
So if you're Ricardo, you're sitting there, you know you're as quick or quicker than most of these guys on any given day. You're sitting on those mediums. You think he's kind of decided his strategy and he's just going to chill out, have him some tater chips and a pop and just wait for the race and then work his strategy? Or do you think he'll goes out for another lap because he wants to put it on pole?
I definitely would go out. I don't know. No, I take that back, actually. As soon as I think about that and say it out loud, I change my mind because you got the medium tire. I mean, that's what you want to start this race on based on what we saw in the D2 race. I would keep that medium tire all day and really just run the race like we saw in D2. I mean, we might get more safety cars here. It might change the strategy a little bit. But yeah, I'd stay in the pits. I mean, there's nothing to why burn another set of tires to come back out. I mean, you're down to P3 now, though. Maybe you can go faster on the mediums. I don't know. Run that same. Wouldn't run that same set again. I don't know. So maybe that's the difference, though. He did qualify on the mediums. Maybe you can't go quite as deep with them. I don't know. Let's see what he does.
Well, now he puts on the set of softs, and we'll see if he actually comes out of the garage or not. But he's in the pits with a set of softs on, and we'll see what decision is made from there. It looks like the Red Bulls are going to be coming across the line as Peter actually goes Victor Diaz went purple in the first sector, so he's on another push lap right now.
Victor Diaz in the Alpine, working up through turn 8. Down the hill, up the hill. Such a cool track.
So fun to drive. Such a good time. And Victor just invalidated his lap, so he'll probably come in and park it for another couple of minutes and try to go one last time. 9 minutes left to go in the session. We got Peter Giordano in first, Duncan McCamick second, Ricardo in P3 on the medium tires. Our only medium runner in the top 10. Joel's still out on a set of mediums trying to improve his time, trying to get in that top 10. Travis Robinson looks like he's about to try to set a time here.
Just watching Jack Fletcher, actually. Jack Fletcher's on a personal best first 2 sectors. Jack and the Ferrari finishing up, coming out of the final turn. He's currently P11. Now he's P6.
Good lap from Jack. Really good. Ferrari really needs those points right now. They're pretty far behind in the Constructors' Championships. They need to maximize these last 2 races.
Taking a look at Zebra Strike come out of the final corner. He's getting a little bit of a slipstream off the car ahead of him here. That may pull that time up a little bit more. Zebra Strike getting his first time on the board. It's only 17.5, good enough for P12.
So Travis is starting a timed lap now. He is looks like he's got pretty good track position. A couple of cars in front of him, but they've just finished laps. Looks like Joel pulls off ahead of him. And so Travis will try to set a flyer. Bob Blah looks like he's about to set his first time of the day. Should be a quick time. Goes P6.
P6
so really
for Bob. Great lap for Bob. Looks like Ricardo T is back on track with those soft tires, and he just went purple sector 1. Got a little bit of net code going on with Ricardo. I don't know if you see that on your side as well, but I got a little bit on mine. He's coming down through turn 11. It's a shame he's got the net code because it's really cool to see how smooth and consistent he is.
Up 6/10 already.
Oh my goodness. So he gets down in the 15s. I think everyone else just may have to go home.
But again, like we talked about, does he back out? Because he knows he's got it. We all know he's got it. But is that the right strategy call, though?
Yeah, he's committed. Here he goes up the hill. Is it a 15 or is it going to be? It's a 16-1 for Ricardo T. What a flyer. My goodness. But look at Peter Giordano. Just went purple in Sector 1. Although it's not making... Looks like he's 2/10 actually up on Ricardo, but it's showing purple on my timing for some reason.
Well, I just showed purple in Sector 2 and then went back to green. So, but he's absolutely flying. So I wonder if he and... Because Jack's right behind him on track. I wonder if he and Jack set up a tow down the main straight earlier to get him flying into the beginning of the lap rather than having the at the end of the lap.
Peter's coming across the line. He's currently at a 16.8. Is he going to go faster? He does. It's a 16.5. That's a great lap from Peter. It's 4/10 off Ricardo on the same tire set. Good lap to be proud of right there. Duncan McCamick just invalidated his next flyer. He's got to get around and get a fresh set of tires on and give another shot at it. Let's look at maybe Razor. Just coming out of P2 in the D2 race. And that McLaren, he's got a good time. He's currently sitting P5 right now. And he's on I think he's on a cooldown lap, actually. Yeah, so he just did his flyer with a 16.9. That's a great lap for Razor up to the top 5 in D1, man. Way to go.
Really good driver. Really not surprised. Really talented. Really good guy. Really glad to have him around. Recently joined our stewards department. We were short a steward, and Razor decided he would step in. Some of the graphics you see on the broadcast are also brought to you by Razor. So really valued member of the community and really quality driver. Keeping an eye on Jack Pemberton as he followed his teammate around with that tow earlier. He is on a flying lap trying to improve his position. Down in P9, he'd like to move up a couple spots, maybe jump the other Jack and a Bob Blah, but we'll see what he can do here.
Jack Pemberton coming through the last hairpin at the top of the hill.
He's invalidated.
He did invalidate. That's going to kill his lap. Let's see. It looks like Duncan McCamick's on a flyer here in the Red Bull. Currently sitting P3. Sets a personal best in Sector 1. Up almost a 1/10 of a second. If he can do that 2 more times, he might take a P2 from Peter here. It's good to see Duncan having a good run. He's had struggled the kind of the past few weeks here. Seeing him up in the top 5 in qualifying is a great start to the weekend for him.
I feel like we should pay a lot of attention to Duncan today. Keep the camera on him a lot and say his name a lot and build his teammate out.
We've discovered the broadcaster's curse is a real thing here in ZRL. It got Lemmy last race and a few other guys, but Duncan looks really smooth. He's going to power through here. Let's see what kind of time he can set across the line. He goes green in Sector 2, green in Sector 1. So he will improve. Is it enough to take P2 from Peter, though? It is. He goes with a 16.3. Duncan McCamick on the front row in the Red Bull.
Really nice lap from him. Travis Robinson is on an out lap on a set of mediums, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get to that top 10 and be on a different strategy than everyone else around him. Currently sitting P12. He's got to make up about 2/10 to get ahead of Ian. Now's the time when the track's no longer green. It's really rubbered in well, so Travis Robinson trying to get in that top 10. He's got to jump Damian Ian, and he's going to try to jump Jack Pemberton. If I understand the way Travis thinks, he wants to get up there as safe as he can.
Yeah, he's got to get out of that bottom 10 if you want to start. You know, I mean, this is a track. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's difficult to overtake, but turn 1 can be a mess if because it's a high-speed corner to start the lap, which is always dangerous because a high-speed corner with a lot of cars close together, it tends to lead to incidents. So further up the grid you can go, the better. Travis Robinson, first sector, did not improve his time. Maybe he feels he can get more time out of it later in the lap. Yeah, he's still up 2.5 tenths here. So he's not looking like he's going to improve. With about 2 minutes left in the session, everyone's kind of committed to their strategy at this point. Zebra Strike just went up to P9. Gets himself up in the top 10. Let's see if Travis can do anything across the line here. He does improve, but only 0.005 of a second.
What a crazy, crazy margin. But that's good because we know the medium is actually a slower tire, and he still improved his time. So I could see he's got 2 minutes to get around. I could see him trying to recharge that battery, and he knows where he made a couple little mistakes and potentially try to go again. Only driver not to set a time yet would be, and it looks like he just did. The Drip Israel just went P12. Really good lap from Drip there, so he'll be happy to start kind of in the middle of the pack.
Yeah,
D2 driver reserving this week for Sleek, Jordan Angus.
Yeah, Damian Dew just went P9 in the Haas as well. It's a good lap from Damian.
Knocks Ian out of the top 10, so now Ian's going to have that tire choice. He's sitting in the pits, so no time to come out, so he'll be stuck there 13th or worse if anyone else can get around him.
Looks like our Ricardo's back on track again. I think he just wants to show how fast he can go now, because there's really, I mean, nothing to prove here except watch how fast I can go.
Yeah, just Hall of Fame level. Like, I want to get my name in all the record books for Zoom Racing League, and then try out next year for esports and put Zoom Racing League on the map. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it, Ricardo. Go out and smash. Just Hulk smash these dudes. Let's get it.
You know, interesting. He went purple sector 1. I'm not showing any deployment on his ERS until now, and now his ERS. I wonder if he didn't run the first half of the lap with the ERS on, or something. And he still went purple. That's crazy.
That net code might be an issue later on in the race for the young Mexican driver, unless he can make a huge gap here at the start. And
yeah, he just spun it.
He did.
I wasn't sure if that was for real or not, though. Peter Giordano, meanwhile, has improved. He went green sector 1, green sector 2. He's got to improve by about 4 tenths to get pulled. Looks like Duncan Mechanics in the pits. He's going to be committed. The time is up. Hot laps will count. Peter Giordano comes around the final corner. Let's see if he improves at all. He does not. He's going to stay P3. Here comes Razor in the McLaren. He's going to jump his teammate and go P4. Great lap from Razor. It's like next car may be Drip. Nope, not Drip's the other one. It's going to be Travis Robinson. He goes P13.
Man, that's 5 extra laps on those medium tires for not much of an improvement. I don't know if that's going to be worth it for him. That may be a bad strategy call there. We'll see what Travis can do with that.
Watching Bob Loblaw as he comes around. Final laps, putting everything you got into these laps. Bob does improve, goes P4. Victor Diaz is going to go P6. And I believe that's Jack Fletcher coming across the line last. He's going to go P8.
All right, so top 10 for Jack.
Very good lap from Jack. So there you go. There's qualifying in the books.
So nothing terribly surprising there. If you're Duncan McCamick in the Red Bull, you're real happy to be in P2. You know that you're going to have pressure behind from Peter and Bob. But glad to see a Red Bull up front, and that means we'll have a lot of camera time for Duncan McCamick.
All right, so we are looking at the qualifying results. Ricardo T, your pole sitter in the Alfa Romeo, 16-1. Duncan Mechanic, great lap in the Red Bull, 2/10 behind. Peter Giordano third, blah, 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 fourth. Razor fifth, Victor Diaz sixth, Lee Hall seventh, Jack Fletcher eighth, Damien P9, and Zebra Strike P10. All drivers on the soft tires. So while we get ready for the race, let's go ahead and look at our championship standings heading into the penultimate round of the second season of ZRL. Alfonso Luis, who is, he's not here this week, is he?
He's not. He is out. He's been replaced by Prison Mike.
Prison Mike. So Alfonso Luis is not going to pick up too many points here, but let's see if Prison Mike may pick some up for him. So he is in a dangerous position, 167 points. Peter Giordano, 148. Travis Robinson, 141. Victor Diaz, 139. Ricardo is in this race. He is down in 113. Duncan Mechanic, 112. With 2 races to go, you got about 50 points up in the air for grabs. So it's still wide open, especially with Alfonso not racing tonight. We can see the point shake up quite a bit. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So as our drivers get ready to queue up for the race here, making their final strategy adjustments, figuring out what tires they're going to run, what fuel they're going to run. Now, we didn't see a safety car in the D2 race. So typically you will underfuel your car anticipating a safety car, right? Less fuel, lighter car, faster lap times, but...
And we actually had a battle for position between Snoop Francis and Buzzgod that came down to they both actually ran out of fuel. Otherwise, Buzzgod would have gotten that P4 and Snoop would have gotten P5. So interesting thing of note here is if you look at P5 and then note P10 and note P12, we have 3 Division 2 drivers here in the top 12 in the Division 1 race. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Prison Mike down in P20 is also a Division 2 driver. So that just tells you the quality of racing that we're developing here in Zoom Racing League.
Absolutely. The rating system that Mechanic and other admins, including yourself, Reeves, I think you were part of that you guys have come up with and worked so hard on. It's working. The good drivers, the fast drivers, and the drivers well-versed in racecraft ending up here in Division 1. Division 3, Division 2 feeder series for this league, and it's a great series. If you're fast, it's where you want to be. If you're new to Zoom Racing League, again, we have racing Saturday nights and Sunday nights. Division 3 goes off at 8 o'clock on Saturdays. Division 2 goes off at 8 o'clock on Sundays. And you're watching Division 1, which kicks off at 10 o'clock on Sundays. There's also a set of course competition zone running Tuesday nights. And new season kicks off, I think, on the new year, if I'm not mistaken. So, good place to be. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Give these drivers your support. Show them that you appreciate the effort they're doing. You like the show as we get ready for round number 9 of the Portugal Grand Prix.
So this may be everything. This may be nothing. It may be strategic or it may have been an accident. But Ricardo on the formation lap actually took out the 50-meter board just before the hairpin at turn 5. So something to keep an eye on. If we see a lot of people missing their breaking point there, Ricardo may be working on levels that we're not aware of, or it might just be netcode.
Oh my goodness. I know as a driver myself, I use those boards quite a bit, and when they're not there, I get pretty upset. So I can only imagine everybody's going to file into that turn, and their brake marker's not going to be there. But in any case, it's Ricardo T and Duncan Mechanic back on the front row for this race. As we get ready for the start, everyone's going to line up, get ready to go. As we get set, and there's the resync. All right, the lights are coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights are on. They're going to hold them for a second. Lights out, and away we go. Here we go. It's Ricardo on the right. It's Duncan on the left. Ricardo gets a great launch. We got a Red Bull, or who's that? A McLaren's going around the back. I think that was Razor. Went from P5. Razor's
15 spots lost.
Got turned on the start of the race on the front straightaway. Looks like everybody's going to make it through the first few corners cleanly.
Razor spun around in turn 3. His wing's gone. It's going to be just nothing but heartache for him.
Everybody's diving into the hairpin. Looks like they're going to make it. A couple of people diving in pretty late, maybe missing their braking marker. Like we said, they're going to get through nice and clean. Bad news for Razor on the start, but everyone else gets away nice and clean.
Yeah, what a nightmare start for Razor. But we know he's a quick driver. He can make some of that up. A zebra strike picks up a 3-second penalty. So predicted pit stop strategy, medium to hard, is recommended by AWS. Soft medium is the next potential strategy, but you're going to have to rely on a safety car to make that work in most cases.
And Ricardo's net code already jumping around a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Already pulled almost a 1.2 second gap, so DRS will not be a factor for Peter Giordano, except for behind him.
He's got that old Sebastian Vettel mentality. When DRS first came out, the whole Red Bull strategy was to pull the gap on the first 2 laps before they couldn't do it, so they couldn't turn it on behind you. And that's what he is doing exactly. So a little bit further back, Bob Loblaw making a move under Joel Guron, made it stick, got the move done. Bob moves up to P8.
So Travis Robinson into the pits. He's got looks like the left front wing is broken. He's missing an end plate, so he's going to have to replace that. I can see him going out of the hard tires now and trying to go long through the middle here.
Let's see what Travis does in the AlphaTauri. Looks like he's going to another set of mediums, actually. Maybe just doesn't like the hard compound, doesn't like the way it feels.
And so, correction, it looks like Razor actually doesn't have wing damage. He was able to keep it out of the wall, so he just got spun around. So he's out there on those softs, so he'll try to catch up to the pack here, but it's going to take a Herculean effort on his part.
Take a look at our biggest drivers on the move here. Our recent call-up, Joel Orell down there, started P19. He's up to P12 after a lap and a half, and the Mercedes got the call from D3 directly to D1 after his race here yesterday. Great start for the rookie.
Joel actually just signed up with Zoom Racing League this week. We were able to get him into the...
oh, we got a car around. It's Alpine has gone around right in front of him. Sorry, it was Zebra Strike. Zebra Strike lost it out of turn 15, the high-speed final corner, nosed it into the barrier. So he's going to go right into the pits.
I can almost guarantee what happened there because I saw me do it last season. You get on the, you start using your battery a little bit there and get too quick on the power, and that curve, there's a little bit of banking there, and it just goes ahead and brings you in. 10-second time penalty for Gator for a corner cut. Did he spin?
Yeah, Gator spun out of turn 3. I think he might have gone across the grass and got one of those corner cut penalties. Tough news for Ferrari right there.
That is a tough one. There's nothing you can do to avoid that. Once you start that slide and you cut that corner, the game is going to give you that 10 seconds every time, and there's nothing to argue there. You can't do anything about it. He'll have to serve that in the pits next time he pits, and the stewards can't help him on that either once it's served.
Duncan McCamick and Lee Hall having a little scrap here. Red Bull versus McLaren. Lee Hall trying to go around the outside through turn number 14. Looks like he might get the move done. He does around the outside. Great move from Lee there, but now Duncan's going to have the slipstream down the front straightaway. I don't know if DRS's option is open now. It is now. He's got his rear flap open, so Duncan takes the move back quite easily there.
A little strategery there by the Duncan McCamick Red Bull driver. He knew that DRS was coming, and I think he let him by so he could get that and keep the advantage.
Now Lee Hall's going to have it coming up the next straightaway. Duncan pulled a little bit of a gap on him, though, but Duncan's also got the DRS from Peter up the road a little bit, so no moves happening there just yet. Look a little further back. Looks like everybody's kind of getting in single file, getting their place in the race here. Finding their pace, getting into their rhythms. Got a yellow in sector 1. That's Razor again. Now Razor's not out of it. I mean, he's still just one safety car can bring him back in this mix.
And his wing's still intact. He's still got it going. So there's still plenty of opportunity here. I could potentially see him go ahead and coming in next one and get off those softs, get on a longer lasting compound, and hope for a safety car. And maybe get some track position that way.
How about the rookie Joel is all over the back of Victor Diaz, Jack Pemberton, and Bob Loblaw. 3 veterans of Division 1, and Joel has caught them in the Mercedes, and he is in a great position here to make a move. If he can get the double, we called it in the D2 race, I called it the super DRS, the super toe, because you're behind 2 cars, and on that front straightaway, it seems to make a bigger hole in the air, but he's not quite doing anything now. Little DRS train action there. It might be too many DRS cars ahead of him.
And all of that comes down to the setup of the car ahead of you, because if they're running low downforce, the DRS isn't quite as powerful, but around this track, you need good grip, and so a little bit of extra wing is not going to hurt you.
He's going to peek a nose under the inside of Victor here, heading up to the hairpin and get the move done. Great move there from Joel up the P9 now.
Really great drive. I'm going to go ahead and take credit for all of that because he is on Team Mercedes and I am Toto Rivas, so you're welcome, everyone.
Good job spotting that and scouting that driver. He's already in the back of Jack Pemberton as well. I think Jack's running the medium tires though. So a little bit of an advantage to the Mercedes there.
And that's where if I was in Jack Pemberton's ear and I was his engineer, I'd tell him not to fight this too hard. Go ahead and let him have that because he's going to have to pit about 10 laps earlier than you, and you're going to get that spot back. So don't risk anything here trying to defend too hard. Go ahead and let him through. It's fine. That's not our race right now. Our race is later on. Our wrap it's 10 laps from now.
I think Jack wasn't expecting him to dive under turn 15 right there. Jack was kind of heading toward the apex, but he saw the Mercedes there. Unfortunately, they both got DRS. I don't think he's not going to get the move done. Is he going to stick it in turn 1? No, he's going to back out of it. Probably a smart move there from Joel. Turn 1 is a risky place to go side by side. Victor's going to take a peek on the inside and think better of it.
Really good drag race down the straight, though. You love to see that. You don't know what's going to happen. You see a little bit of bravery. Who's going to back out first? Who's going to think strategy? Who's going to think long term? And who's just going to go for it?
Joel's going to look around the outside here of Jack. Not going to get it done. Victor's going to think about getting in there as well. I think Joel's got a little more wing on his car. That's why he's got more speed on through Sector 2 and Sector 3, but he gets on that front straightaway. He just can't get the move. He can't, get the pace to stay in front. He's going to look around the outside going through turn 9. Can he stick it in under turn 10 and 11? He's going to put the nose in, but no, Jack's going to close the door. Joel's going to run a little bit wide right there, probably pick up an off track. Got to be careful with those. It's a good little scrap right here.
Absolutely. It's really nice to see some fresh blood come in. And we saw last week with Jack Pemberton, Jack Fletcher, all those guys right there in the P9 to 10 area, fighting back and forth, wheel to wheel, going 2-3 wide through some corners. And then here we have fresh blood that comes in and meshes in perfectly. And that's exactly what we want to see here in Zoom Racing League.
Duncan McCamick taking a peek under Peter Giordano for second place. Can't get the move done. Meanwhile, Joel is still behind Jack. He just doesn't have the speed down that straightaway. The Mercedes is picking up too much air, but he might send it here on the inside of turn 3, and he's there. Holds the apex, gets a tight line out. He's going to hold it to turn 4. Joel's up to P8 now, and the Mercedes and Victor Diaz is going to take a look under Jack Pemberton. And tuck back in. They're going to go single file, so I think they got that sorted out. Next target up the road for Joel is Bob Loblaw.
So Bob Loblaw at a disadvantage because his teammate in front of him is not close enough where they can trade DRS with one another. So he's going to be a sitting duck on the straight. But Bob tends to like to run a lower wing. He likes a lot faster oversteery car. So I don't think he's going to be under too much danger. But this is going to be really interesting once they get close together.
Yeah, you see how much Joel just closed up on Bob right there. The wing definitely helps in these slow to medium corners here. Should be easy pickings here for Joel down the front straightaway.
Joel already on the battery, already pushing that ERS to make sure he keeps that gap as tight as possible so when that flap opens, he can just fly around him.
Bob's going to cover the inside line. It's going to force Joel to go around the outside. He says, okay, thank you very much. I'll do it that way. And he goes up into P7. Victor Diaz, meanwhile, just got past Jack Pemberton. He moves up to P9. So Jack falls down a couple positions in a couple laps. Now he's under threat from Ian in the other Mercedes. Jack not moving the direction you really want to go here.
Well, that's the expected move right now. Let those soft runners go out and run their tires out. If you wear your tires out too much, that makes you even more of a potential victim for Ian and Joel. Joel being 2.5 seconds behind, but Ian's your battle right now because you're on the same tire strategy. Guys that have to... looks like Damien may have had just a moment. He and Jack Fletcher are going to swap positions up in P5 and P6, so Jack gets that move on Damien.
Ian's looking around the outside through turns 9 and 10 here. He's going to be on the inside for the next one. Jack's going to close the door again. Jack doesn't want anybody getting past in that corner. I think they've lost the DRS from the cars ahead, so Ian should be able to get the move done down the front straightaway relatively easy here. Meanwhile, back up front, Lee Hall has got a great position to get past Duncan McCamick here. Duncan's going to go to the inside, kind of hold the middle of the track. Lee's going to go even further to the inside. They bang wheels down the front straightaway a little bit. Lee Hall up to P2. Looks like Damian and Joel both got past Jack Fletcher there on the front straightaway as well. So Damian's up to P5, Joel up to P6. Jack Fletcher drops down to 7th. Now he's under threat from Bob Loblaw. I didn't see what happened there, but it seemed like Jack lost a lot of positions there in the front straightaway.
I wasn't watching that either. I was watching a little bit further back, watching Joel Guron, Prison Mike, just kind of seeing how they're running. They're biding their time, taking their time. They know they're going to gain spots when it comes to pit stops. But yeah, Jack, kind of surprising to lose 2 back-to-back like that. And then you got Bob and Victor looking real hungry right behind. So don't want to dangle a snack, anything to let them think that they're going to have a chance.
So we're working 8 laps on the soft tires here. You bring in the qualifying laps to go with it. We should see pit stops here in the next couple of laps for those runners on softs. Joel is all over the back of Damian now. I can't state enough how impressed I am with Joel here. He goes and runs one D3 race, and now he runs a D1 race, and he's just picking his way through the field here. He'll have DRS down the front straightaway here as Lee Hall sets the new fastest lap of the race, takes it from Ricardo. There goes Joel up the inside. Should be easy moves there. He's going to get the position down in the turn 1. Further back, looks like everyone's going to stay single file.
So on the soft tires, you're right there in the pit window right now. So laps 9 to 14 is kind of about the area where I'd expect these guys to start pitting. And so you wonder who's going to blink first, because Ricardo's running his own race. And so from Lee back all the way to Ian, so positions 2 through 9, all within that DRS basically of one another, except for Joel has that little gap to Peter. But who's going to blink first and who's going to try to decide? Because the undercut is not as strong around here as you think it would be. The DRS is very strong, but the undercut is not quite as powerful as it is at some tracks.
We saw in the D2 race that stretching those soft tires out to about lap 13 was what you needed to do if you can. I mean, there's about a 3-lap window there. Laps about 11, 12, and 13 are the ones where you could really make a one-stop race out of this race. So we'll see if anybody comes in this time. Ricardo's going to stay out. Lee Hall's going to stay out. Looks like everyone's staying out. Maybe taking some notes from that D2 race. Not going for the 2-stop. Yeah, everyone's staying out, so. Looks like Jack Fletcher. Jack Fletcher just got past Damian. He took a position back. Jack's up to P6 now. Damian's all over his gearbox. This is a nice little battle here for 6th place. You got 6 cars, all within a blanket throw of each other here. So Victor Diaz is going to make a move under Bob further back here. He's going to make that move stick. No, Bob's going to hold it on the outside, be in a good position here 2 turns down the road. Bob's going to hold that position. Victor's going to send on the inside of turn 8. That's a dangerous spot to make a move. Didn't mean to say bad there. It's just dangerous. Bob's going to hold it. Victor's going to keep his nose on the outside. It's going to be the inside for the next turn. He's going to get the move done, maybe. They're still side by side. Now Bob's going to be in a little bit of contact. I think they barely made it through. I thought they touched, but they didn't. Ian, meanwhile, licking his chops back here behind this. But he can't get by when they're side by side in front of him.
We have Ferraris in P6, P7, and P9, and we've got the Ferrari pit wall with one of their engineers. Brian Hackman wants to come in and talk to us whenever we have a minute, but we'll follow this for another second and see if anything shakes out as Bob goes into the pits.
Yeah, Bob Loblaw, the first driver to blink there, goes into the pits. It's going to give Ian some free track. And yeah, let's talk to Brian if he's available. Sounds good to me.
Hey, Brian, down there on the Ferrari pit wall. Jack had a bit of a moment earlier. Looked like he gave up some spots, but he got those back. You got Gator down in P17. How are you guys feeling right now?
Yeah, so with the incident with Jack down the main straight there, we actually had a little bit of lag, which had him drop 2 spots, but he fought back against Damien, which is looking good, and we're just looking to pull away. We're looking to push these softs as long as we can go, just so we have a slight advantage at the end on the mediums. And Gator, unfortunate incident, but we think we can have his penalty reviewed after the race. But he's clawing his way back. We'll see how things turn out by the end of the race.
So do you find it to be an advantage with your drivers being on split strategies so they can feed each other information on tire wear and what's going to happen, throughout the end of the race?
Yeah, and we've also got myself and Josh. Josh having a great race and being on the preferred strategy in the race before. He's just talking Jack through the same thing right now, and just we're looking good, and we're very confident about our strategy right now as we see Jack overtake Duncan, which is really great.
Excellent. Well, good luck for the rest of the race. Thank you, Brian, and let's see the Ferraris get a good finish here.
Thank you.
Yeah, Duncan McCamick actually had a moment there. Look at Jack going wheel to wheel with Damien here. He's going to hold the position. What a move from Jack to keep that position. Damien was all the way by him, and Jack just powered back around the outside. Victor Diaz is going to slide his nose in there as well and keep that, take that position from Damien. Yeah, Duncan had a moment. Sorry, Reeves. Duncan had a moment going through turn 12 and lost the car and lost the position of Jack that way.
So Duncan went into the pits, came out on a set of mediums. It looks like we had one of the McLarens had a moment there at the beginning of sector 2. And so we had a momentary yellow. So far, no virtual safety car, no safety cars, but we're in the window where the top 7 are going to need to start to pit. So Jack and Damien and Victor all fighting for those positions. That's going to put some extra wear on those tires and may shorten this stint as to what their original strategy call was.
Yeah, I think you're safely in the window now to do the one-stop strategy. See if Ricardo's going to come in. Yep, Ricardo, your race leader's coming in. Oh, he's going to go right in the back of a lap car there. They ghosted in front of him. Thankfully, that would have been a collision. As Zebra Strike retiring from the session in front of him. I'm hoping he didn't get a penalty or anything for that. Looks like Peter Giordano is going to stay out. Joel's going to stay out, and Joel's going to take the lead of the race now.
Just an incredible find. We've got a really great recruiting effort from me, and I'm sure somebody else did some stuff too. But congratulations to Toto Rivas on another great find. Joel Oral inherits the lead of the race. Of course, he still has to pit, and so we'll see what happens. We've got a local yellow. When we retire in the pits, we get a local yellow, so that'll go away here shortly.
I didn't see it on track, but he got past Peter Giordano, and Peter Giordano was up in the top 3. So I don't know if Peter had an incident on those used soft tires, as Peter's kind of dropping back now a little bit. I wonder if there might be something wrong with Peter's car, or those tires are just gave up on him. But Joel getting past him is quite a feat there, actually.
Oh, Ricardo on the stop shuffles out to P6. Everyone ahead of him has to stop, so he's going to be, of course, not on track lead, but he'll be the leader still. So his teammate Prison Mike right behind him though, with 13 lap old medium. So the two of them can protect and make sure that Ricardo retains that position through the pit stops.
Peter Giordano in the pits. Joel has stayed out. So your race leader is going to run in 14 lap old soft tires now, trying to get that track position. He's going to be the last of the soft runners here, going for the overcut. We'll see where that shuffles him back out in the pack here. He's got to pit next time by, I would imagine, but...
Also important to note that Joel does currently have the fastest lap on the soft tire. So a 19.1, Ian 3/10 off on the medium tire. So we can see potentially the Mercedes boys swapping that fastest lap around, trying to keep it away from the Alfa Romeos.
So Joel works his way around the circuit. Ricardo T has caught Joel Guron.
Damien's gone onto the hard tires down at P17, so he's thinking that there's not going to be another stop for anyone.
Ooh, Ricardo almost lost the car going through turn 8 right there. Little correction to save it. Although I'm not entirely sure what's net code and what's him actually sliding the car, but if I was Joel, I'd be kind of nervous right now with that car shaking around behind me.
There's nothing in front of Ricardo. He has open track. There is no one and nothing there.
So Joel Guron is not in front of him. Where do you got Joel Guron in your race right now?
I don't know if he's even in this race because I will not say his name or acknowledge that he is there. In fact, my driver of the day, I'm calling it right now, is going to be Safety Car. Safety Car will be the driver that I watch that I want to do the best today. I am not cursing anyone this week, PPJ.
I I think you might have some desync, Rivas, because Ricardo did make the move under Joel there, like he was there in his game. So I know you don't want to say his name, but I would maybe look and see if maybe some desync going on there. Joel stayed out again. The other Joel Orell. He is. I mean, he's still going though. I mean, he's got a 9-second gap over Ian. And we know Ian's a fast driver.
Oh, and Duncan just picked up a penalty. That'll be important towards the end.
Got a yellow in sector 2. I think that's Peter Giordano. No, it's the other one. It's Jack Pemberton. Yeah, Jack Pemberton went around out of turn 8. He's back on his way, though.
Lost that spot to Prison Mike in the process.
Okay, Joel's coming in. Race leader into the pits. So let's see where he's going to rejoin the action here.
It looks like he should shuffle out around P6 to P7, assuming he doesn't have wing damage. It doesn't look like he does, but you got to figure 20 to 27 seconds on your pit stop. As Ricardo takes the fastest lap, the 18.3 on the medium tire.
I think I just got your joke with the car not being there, by the way. So little slow, but I got it. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Yep. Thank you. So Ian takes the race lead. Ricardo T 6 seconds back. At this point, if Ian were to pit, let's see where that would shuffle him. He'd probably come out somewhere around the Drip Israel Peter down there in 7th, 8th. So we figure he'll probably go another 6 laps or so, maybe on those tires.
Give or take. Ian's been known to gamble before and go long on tires. He's not bad at managing them, but he's usually a pretty aggressive driver, and so I'm surprised at when he is able to stretch the tires out, because a lot of times Ian gets in that hot lap mode and he wants to go. And so now's the time. You have clean air in front of you. There's no lap traffic you're catching up to. So go ahead and stretch this out as long as you can. Don't wear those tires out, and bring home as many points as possible.
Absolutely. Joel is caught up to Jack Pemberton. Joel on the fresh medium tires, Jack on the used medium tires. I think Joel's going to have DRS down the straightaway. Should be easy picking from Mr. Pemberton. Yep. Jack's just going to hold the left side. Orell's going to go up the inside, take the move, nice and clean. Orell at the 5th, Pemberton down to 6th.
Smart move by Jack. Just let him through. You guys are on a different strategy. That's not your race right now.
Yellow in sector 3.
Or Damien has gone around the hard tires.
Oh, Damien was having such a good run. Went to the hard tires. That the car's so, you get those tires heated up, it's so hard to drive. Let's see if he can hold it through the final turn here. He does. Just goes from bad to worse for him. Shaggy Muffin and Jack Fletcher getting into it here in the hairpin. Looks like Jack's going to have the traction coming out and the track position heading into the sweeper of turn 7 and up the hill to turn 8.
Bob's on those fresher tires too, so he's going to want to have a bite at that apple as well. And so Shaggy's going to see himself go down to P12 here within the next lap or so. So in your top 5, you have Ian, Joel, and Prison Mike all in the 17 lap hole. Now 18 laps for Ian mediums. They're going to have to pit again. So functionally on track, you've got Ricardo T, Joel Orell, and then Peter Giordano in 3rd, Duncan McCamick, your functional 4th once the pit stops continue on.
That's right.
Taking a look at the penalties, we got 6 seconds for the Drip Israel, who still needs to pit. Duncan also has 6 seconds. Garrett down in P13 has 3 seconds. Gator has 10 seconds, which he'll serve in the pits. And then Damien down in P18 with 3 seconds of penalties as well.
Orell just made a move past Prism Mike into the hairpin. It's going to put Orell up to 4th place now.
Gator into the pit, so he'll serve that penalty, lose that spot to Travis Robinson and potentially Damien as well.
All right, Rivas, here's a question for you. I think I'm looking at the pace of Jack Orell here in the Mercedes. You got to figure he started in the bottom half of this field. Ricardo started on the front row. Orell is only 10 seconds behind Ricardo T at this point. There's been no safety cars, nothing to group these drivers back together. Dare I say Orel may have a faster race pace than Ricardo T. And dare I say, with the next 15 laps to go or whatever it is, Ricardo may be under threat from Orel by the time this thing is done.
So I think it depends on how the pit stops shake out. As it looks like Joel Garon has gone into the pits. I think it's going to come down to, does Ricardo make a mistake? Because we've seen from Joel, he's a very consistent driver.
Joel just picked up a penalty as soon as you said that, so he's got a 3-second penalty. Broadcaster curse again. So that just made the 10-second gap turn into a 13-second gap. But I'm following. Yeah, I mean, if Ricardo can run a clean race, then it should be okay. But I'm going to keep an eye on that gap because I am really impressed by Joel here.
Yeah, because even as dominant and consistent as Ricardo has been, he's had some moments. He had a bad race at Spa. He's had a couple incidents where he went off track and picked up penalties. Anything can happen because these drivers are pushing these right to the bloody edge of what can be accomplished in this game. And so it just takes the littlest thing, just that little, 1 degree extra of steering input, and you've gone off track and picked up a penalty. Like, we're talking like minute changes. And so, yeah, it's anybody's game at this point. Joel at a disadvantage with the penalty, but look, he's already cut the gap to under 10 seconds.
We're just going to watch how Ricardo handles the pressure. The gap is coming down. It was about 10.5 seconds. Now it's about 10 seconds. So Joel just sets the fast lap of the race. So Orel is on the move in the Mercedes. Ricardo hasn't had to deal with much pressure lately as Jack Pemberton goes into the pits on the medium tires. He's the first runner on the mediums to come in and blink and maybe go to the softs. And he does. Goes to the soft tires to finish the race.
Looks like he and Drip Israel, Joel Garon actually went in for softs as well last lap.
So Joel was the first to pit. So Garrett Elders left the session. He was in pit lane, or he just came out, so he's down in P18.
He's logging back on now. There may have been a little disconnect, a little steam issue as Bob picks up a 3-second penalty. That'll hurt his race down there in P7. He's trying to push to catch up to Jack Fletcher there.
So Ricardo's running down Ian, who's due to make a pit stop here in the next lap or two.
So Ian not doing his teammate any favors here, because Ricardo, even if Ian goes into the pits, is going to get that DRS. And it's going to give him a free run away from Joel at this point.
And Joel took about a second out of the last lap here. But yeah, Ricardo's going to get the DRS. He doesn't have it this time by. So maybe if you're Ian, I mean, you do a little Sergio Perez action here and just race him a little bit. Try to slow him down. Just keep an eye on that. So here they come up the straightaway. Ricardo should have ERS this time. But Ricardo had a moment. Ricardo went around. Ricardo spun going through turn number 4. He got the car pointed the right direction again. So now Ricardo's under threat from Joel.
Less than 2-second gap, and Joel's tires are not going to be hot, so he has the huge advantage here. So like I was talking about, just that knife edge, just littlest extra steering input, just the littlest thing in turn 4, littlest thing in turn 8. Shaggy Muffin goes into the pit in P13.
Got a yellow in sector 3. I think that's Lee Hall. No, it's not. It's the other one. It's Razor. Razor just continuing to struggle out here. But yeah, how about that? Ricardo had a moment, and now he's under threat. Now his whole race is under threat. A podium position might be under threat here.
Joel's eyes have got to be as big as dinner plates right now, because he sees that position as his now. As Ian finally goes into the pits, 21 laps later, that's about the max you want to run these. Anything more than that, you're running about 70% wear on these tires, and there's no grip left.
Peter Giordano picks up a 3-second penalty. That is one thing that the penalty does come into play here. Joel has 3 seconds added onto his time, but with 11 laps left in the race here, I mean, you've got time to get by and build the gap. But these two are running very similar pace.
The good news for Joel is Peter behind has a 3-second penalty, and Duncan in P4 has a 6-second penalty. But Ian's going to have the tire advantage here over Duncan. So Ian is going to be trying to chase down Duncan and probably see something pretty soon from Travis Robinson. He's 20 laps on those mediums, and he's wanting to fight for a P10 here at least.
Yeah, Robinson just not having a great day out there today either. Just really struggling. Struggled in qualifying, and now he's just trying to battle his way into the top 10 here.
Lee Hall trying to put some pressure on Bob Loblaw down in P8. Has slightly fresher tires, so that's going to be a nice little scrap for the next few laps.
Yeah, Lee Hall's actually got his fuel light on. Again, no safety cars in this race, just like the D2 race. So if you underfuel your car, you might start saving fuel toward the end of this race here. Lee Hall have to manage that fuel. He's going to run on the back of all. They make a little bit of contact. Now he's going to have DRS down the front straightaway. Should be easy moves here. That rear wing opens up. Oh, Bob gave him a little bit of a move there on the right side. But they both survive and haul up to 7th place now.
Lee still making up time towards Jack Fletcher in front. He's up to 1.4 seconds. If he can cut another 4/10 out of this lap, he'll have DRS on Jack, and Jack will be in trouble. Ian getting all over the back of Duncan McCamick now. Duncan's going to be in trouble come the next straight because Ian's going to have the grip out of every one of these corners. He's just going to keep closing and closing that gap on those fresh soft tires.
Yeah, Duncan McCamick not in a good position here with that black Mercedes behind him. You can just see Ian closing up here on these turns where the tires really come into play. Now Ian's fuel light just came on. So Ian's kind of flirting with fuel management here a little bit as well. Doesn't look quite as bad as it was for Lee Hall, but keep an eye on these as this race continues to play out. As Ian is right in the slipstream of McCamick here. Should be able to get the move down by turn 1. Duncan's just going to hold the left side of the track. Ian moves to the inside. And Ian up to P4.
So if you're Duncan, you're okay with that. You know he's on the tire advantage here. You just want to maintain that gap behind to Jack Fletcher and keep fighting forward and hope that Peter or Joel or Ricardo up front make a mistake and you can pick up a couple spots there. Lee Hall further back, still doing some pretty good work on the back of Jack Fletcher. Not really making up a huge gap there, so those two on similar strategies, and they'll probably hold position here for a while. Travis finally goes into the pits in P15. He'll shuffle out around P18, and not much he's going to be able to do from there, even on fresh soft tires.
Yeah, just a bad day for Robinson there. Lee Hall giving Jack Fletcher a little bit of pressure here. Yeah, Orel up in second place is flirting with that DRS zone. Not going to have it this time by, as Ricardo's already running defensive slipstreams here. He dove to the inside and it's going to kind of run the middle of the track. I think Ricardo's feeling the pressure here a little bit.
Now, the netcode issues that we're seeing, if he's experiencing that too, he's the young Mexican driver's had an issue or two before where his connection was a little spotty, but has been pretty clean for most of the time that he's been racing with us. But if I'm anybody, if I'm Ricardo, I'm less worried than if I'm Peter Giordano watching Ian chase me down with fresh softs.
Absolutely. Jack Fletcher, looks like Lee Hall got past Jack. But Jack's going to have the DRS up the next straightaway here. Might be a little too far back to think about a move. So these two, Ferrari versus McLaren, the legendary rivalry continuing to play out here in ZRL. As Orel in second place is well within the DRS now. Now, Orel just dumping into his battery, though.
So getting word from the Mercedes pit wall, Joel is seeing some desync from Ricardo ahead of him, and so it's making him be a little more tentative in how he approaches this race.
I think Shaggy Muffins just went around in sector on the hairpin down there. But yeah, the desync just makes the overtake a little more difficult because you don't know where that car is going to go. You got to give him about 2 cars width. More, his car is basically twice as wide at that point. And, you know, just kind of keep in mind everything that we know. I mean, we know Orel's got bigger wings on his car than I think Ricardo does at this point. Looks like, you know, Joel as well is just dumping into his battery a lot more than Ricardo is.
Significantly so. Ricardo is waiting for this move. He's been saving up his DRS, and that's what he has to defend with. He can't defend against the DRS. There's nothing you can do. It's going to be open. It's going to be there. So you've got to save that battery and try to use that to maintain that gap and not give up an easy spot. But Ricardo also could be smart here, and he knows that Joel's got that penalty, and there's no guarantee he gets it removed. So if you're Ricardo and you don't feel comfortable defending that hard, go ahead and let him by and win on penalties. And then get the DRS and just follow close.
Here he goes. He's dumping into the battery, and it's the way he does this. He doesn't have battery by the time he gets on the straightaway. So even with the DRS, between the wings and now his battery is fully depleted, I don't see how he's going to get past him. See, even with the DRS, he's not making up that much time. I mean, I think you really got to save that battery. Don't dump it on the top of the hill. Dump it when you get in when the flap opens up on the DRS, so you can get the overtake. Because Ricardo's just going to match him with that. It's going to be a good little scrap here, but especially here in the middle part of the lap. Look at Joel just get right on the back of Ricardo there. Looks like the netcode from Ricardo may have calmed down a little bit. I don't see him jumping around as much as he was. Oh, there he goes right there. So, got to be careful here.
Definitely be good news from Mercedes. We have a yellow in sector 3. It looks like somebody slowed down to let somebody through. And keeping an eye on Ian. Ian is now within the DRS of Peter. So, Peter probably going to lose this spot on the next DRS straight.
Ooh, Joel almost lost the rear there coming out of turn 13. Both these drivers right on the edge of traction. Here he goes. This time he's not dumping into the battery. He did a little charge at the top. He's got about 14% left. Look, Ricardo's going to go to the inside after they're weaving down the straightaway trying to break the slipstream. Here we go. Don't think he's going to get there. He's going to send it anyway. No, he backs out of it. And Ricardo picked up his first time penalty on the defense there. So now these two are equal footing in penalties. It's a brand new race with 4 laps to go.
Toto Rivas approves.
Joel's going to have the DRS down the second straightaway. Not quite close enough. He's going to use the wings to his advantage and close up through the sectors 2 and 3 here. If he could just let that battery charge a little bit. But now both...
down a piece. P17, Travis Robinson has made up a spot, and he's going to be hunting down Garrett Elder now, trying to recover a little bit there.
I saw Travis set fastest lap back there as well, just denying some of these guys up front. The penalty, man, Joel is all over the back of Ricardo here.
Oh, that's a rough spot. Right
and
there.
that desync is getting bad.
Jack Fletcher looks like he's taking the spot from Victor Diaz down P7
You can see,
P8.
Look at how much Joel's backed out of it with that car jumping around like that.
Yeah, that makes you nervous. You don't want to end your race on a netcode issue. We shared a clip earlier today of a car ghosting all over the track and taking someone out that they weren't even close to. So yeah, it's a serious issue, and there's nothing we can do to address it. It's a Codemasters issue, but man, you feel bad for somebody that has the potential for their first Division 1 race win.
Joel is slowed way down here.
Yeah, he knows that he's got no pressure from behind. That 15-second gap to Peter Giordano. So he may just say, hey, it's P2 or it's potentially lose my race trying to get this overtake. So I'm just going to finish the race with 4 laps left and be happy with the P2.
Victor Diaz and Jack Fletcher battling it out here. Side by side turns 1 and 2. Side by side through turn 3. Jack Fletcher sticking his nose up the inside. We saw that end in tears earlier, but it looks like he's going to hold. He's going to get the DRS. They're both laying into the battery. Jack's going to keep the nose in at the hairpin. Give him a little bit of room on the outside. Victor's going to have the traction coming back out. They're still side by side. Up through turn 7. Jack's not giving up. Victor's going to have the inside side by side through turn 8. Looks like Jack may have the move done. Barely clears the Alpine. The Alpine's going to stick it around the outside up to turn 11. And Fletcher's going to hold the position for now.
Really good, clean, hard-fought racing. Meanwhile, back up in P2, Joel's still within 0.6 of Ricardo. He charged up this battery for a little bit, but he seems to be back on the attack, but the netcode's not getting better. Ian in P4 keeps getting closer and closer.
You just got to send it. You just got to have to send it at some point here. You got to want that win. I mean, he's right on the back of Ricardo. You got to just, here he goes. He's right on the back of him here. Ricardo looks like he ghosted for a second there. And he got the move done. Joel up to P1. O'Rell, your new race leader with 3 laps to go. Got the move done. There's a little bit of ghosting there from Ricardo, I think just from the net code. But Joel used it to his advantage, just stuck his nose in there and got the move done. Mercedes back on top. The rookie is on the lead. Ricardo P2. But now Ricardo's going to have the slipstream heading down the front straightaway.
We've seen how hard and fast he races there, and he has the ERS advantage, and he'll have DRS, so he may get that right back. So we may be swapping this position for the next 2 laps.
They're weaving down the straightaway. Ricardo's got the ERS or the DRS open. He's going to get there by turn 1. They're side by side into turn 1. Joel's going to back out of it and give him the position. 2 laps to go.
Nervous, sweaty stuff there if you're Joel, because you don't know.
Oh, he hit him.
Happen.
There's contact, a little bit of contact. Ricardo's coming. Ricardo goes around. I think. Okay, he's back.
Something happened. Ian closing up to the back of Peter Giordano right here. Still doesn't get the move done, but he's going to be really wanting to push here in this next DRS zone.
So, yeah, they swap back and forth a couple times. There's a little bit of contact through 3 and 4 right there. I think Joel's got it now. I don't know if Ricardo's going to be able to answer that. You're right, though. Ian.
Bob goes into the pits. Not sure what the purpose is at this point.
You're right. Ian's all over the back of Giordano here.
And again, Ian doesn't have to make this move. Peter ahead has a penalty, so working within that framework, that's fine. Just finish behind him. If you can get the move, get it, good. But there's a chance he gets the penalty removed, and so Ian's got to have that in the back of his mind as well and balance out those 2 things.
Ian sliding those tires, locking up, going into turn 13 there. Should be able to get the move done in the DRS zone here on the front straightaway. Ian's got a completely full battery. He's going to start dumping that battery on the last lap. Why not?
This is it. This is for all the marbles. With penalties, you're already P3, but go ahead and solidify it now. And Ian goes the outside. He's going to get in front of him. He's going to take it early into turn 1. Keep it on the track. Don't pick up a penalty. More important than anything else. Take it through turns 3 and 4 as we got a car stopped, it looks like, in turn 8.
Victor Diaz made a move underside Jack Fletcher. These two still battling it out. So Victor's gonna get the best of Jack for now. Jack's gonna have DRS back down the straightaway. He doesn't have much battery. There's nothing he can really do.
Victor with about 15 to 20% more battery than Jack, so he's gonna be able to defend this most of the way. But it's gonna come down to the penultimate turn.
But coming out of the final corner in his first Division 1 start, Joel Orell in the Mercedes gets his win. Ricardo comes home P2. The sister Mercedes of Ian coming out of the final corner now. He's going to secure P3. Peter Giordano comes home 4th place. Duncan McCamick with a great drive coming home P5. And then we got the battle. Can Lee Hall do anything on Victor? Can Jack do anything on Lee? They're going to go side by side across the line. Jack Fletcher takes the position across the line. What a race.
Really great battles, not a lot of contact. We only had one driver DNF, no VSC, no safety car. Razor, some of those guys at the back had a rough race, but everybody in the middle up to the front, really great job, really clean racing.
And there we go.
Strauss promotes up to P12 on penalties. He was able to keep his race clean, so all the way down in P18 when he put those softs on, made up 6 positions through penalties and good hard driving.
Man, what a race. Joel Orell I need to pull my telemetry back up to see, but I think didn't he start like 17th or something? Started 19th. Started 19th and drove his way to the win. An outstanding drive from Joel. Driver of the day, of course.
Absolutely.
Ian coming up 12 positions. Started P15, got third. It's a double Mercedes on the front row. Takes me back to the old D2 days where yours truly and Hunte sharing a few podiums together. But it's not the case today. It's Ian and it's Joel Orell. Ricardo Teague brings it home second. Great race from these guys. What a drive.
All right, so waiting on these guys to get in here to the waiting room after they finish their podium celebrations. But yeah, kind of nice to see two Mercedes up there again. It's been a while since we've seen that in D1, and obviously it was last season before we saw it, since we've seen it in D2. So yeah, it's good times. Of course, we expect Alfa Romeo to be up there. Ricardo was there. Alfonso Luis not being there today. Prison Mike did a good job filling in P10, but man, it's just not the same. And so it looks like we actually have our first Mercedes interview. Ian finished tonight in the Mercedes in P3, not only on track, but he knew that he had the penalty advantage over Peter Giordano. So Ian, P3, really good drive, man.
Thank you. It was a struggle start, but then I stressed the mediums and out for a long time, and it paid off.
Yeah, Ian, you started back in P15, man. That was a heck of a drive. I mean, mediums to soft, one-stop strategy. You worked your way through the field all the way up to P3. Just walk us through the race. I mean, I know you said the start was a little difficult, but it seems like you settled in and just worked your way through without any major issues, huh?
Yeah, the start was hectic, and then after maybe lap 10, I started getting a few going past, and then maybe lap 15, I caught with the end of soft finish, so I was in a good position. And then when my teammate hit, I was first, so I was like, hey, let me just put this medium stint longer until like lap 22, and it paid off. And then another real issue was my gas. I was so low on fuel the whole race.
Are you expecting a safety car?
Yeah, so I had to coast behind Peter.
Well, it worked out good for you, man. You got your podium. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week in Singapore.
Thank you.
All right, so we're still waiting for the Alfa Romeo garage and the Mercedes garage to send our other two drivers over. So I guess while we wait on that, we can just man, what a weekend! Really good track, really good driving. Again, like we saw last week, Jack Fletcher in the center of everything. Whenever we have these great on-track battles, the Ferrari driver is right there with all of his compatriots there in the midfield, and nice, clean, comfortable driving. It's got to be sweaty when you're in the seat, but for us, it just looks so nice and clean and easy.
When you're good, it looks smooth, right? That's one thing I've always seen. If you're a good driver and you watch somebody go, it looks effortless, you know. Meanwhile, we get back there, like you said, we're sweating and we're cussing and we're doing all these things because you can't do it as easily as it looks for the other guys. It's really impressive. And you're right, we can't seem to find Joel and Ricardo. I don't even see him in the other chats. I was going to grab him and pull him up, but I don't see him at all. So we'll give him about another minute here, and then if they don't want to talk, then...
Oh, I'm getting a message now from Joel in the Mercedes garage. He's actually got a commitment. It's already 6 a.m. for him, so he's got to go ahead and get on the plane and get back home. So hopefully we'll get another chance to talk with him, and maybe we can interview him before the next race and get his thoughts between now and then.
Great idea.
We understand. We definitely understand that being tired and needing sleep, man. So great job to Joel, to Ricardo, and to Ian on our top three.
Absolutely. So if you liked what you saw, this is Zoom Racing League Division 1. Nice clean race from Portimao this week. We got one round left. It's going to be from Singapore. And we're taking the week off next week. Is that right, Rivas? For Christmas?
Yeah, we'll take off for the Christmas holiday, whatever you celebrate. We're a lot of us here take it off for Christmas, but whatever holiday you're observing, enjoy it and take a week off. We will have a community event. It will not be broadcast, but we may be able to post some highlights depending on what we decide to do, and then we'll be back the week after that in Singapore to wrap up this season.
All right. Well, I'm PBJ. That's Revis. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button. Let those drivers see your support. Subscribe to Zoom Racing League for racing every Saturday and Sunday nights. It's been a pleasure. Have a great evening. Merry Christmas.